Duffy's Baby and the Spy Box. Huffy told Nuff so many lies that she does not want to move, that she is not jealous of the lady trying to live upstairs, and that she is not addicted to the spy box. Last of this particular list, but not least, that she loves Nuff. Huff treats Nuff like a dope. Probable it's true he is a dope. That is what Huff thinks. His voice, deep, slow, and empty like a drum under water, is not a sound Huff respects. Nuff utters not much more than yuh, yuh, yuh. Huff believes she is unlucky when seldom Nuff emits for more than he often gives tongue to. Surely he isn't worthy of his own. A few syllables, a sentence or two. He is a yes man. Any more than that and he will take us away, Huff fears, and so she silences him with the spy box. It has a white dial which squeaks like a rat when searching for signal, and a long black cord to find ladies trying to live in peace. But really, the slate gray box is just a toy, a tool, a distraction. You spy on Mommy for me, Daddy asked years ago, for bouncies? Yes, for bouncies. Ooh, Mommy will be mad, said little Huff, and they laughed together in the corner where the games were stacked, where the bottles tinkled and the television glared all night, Daddy's blonde scruff glittering like dim fiber optics, the walls flickering. Mommy has abandoned us, Huff, said the ice in the glass. You don't want to leave Daddy all alone, do you? Daddy often asked. Huff never answered, except in court, but she'd purse her lips for a cold, wet kiss. Nuff, but for his beard like a pastiche, is a yes man, double-fold. But he imagines the beard precedes him the distance of at least the length of a few vehicles parked end to end. He is not afraid to tell a lone woman across a parking lot to fuck off. Not afraid, so the truck must be idling, tail lights glowing in the dark like a demon, and there must be another at the wheel ready to drive off when the beard says go. He fantasizes about the beard. It speaks to Huff, says no and shut up, moving with or without you, fuck off, Huff. But in waking life, when it comes to Huff, Nuff is always the last man to know better. One fine, odd June day, Nuff's yes Huff tendencies would cause him too much to bear. Before there was Huff and Nuff, there was Huff, Nuff, and Duffy. Duffy is not going to be your daddy, Huff cooed, patting her round belly. Duffy would not do what he is told to do. Duffy had lived off and on with Huff for bouncies, a few too many lines, blunts, and all Huff's lies. Nuff came around too, but while Duffy studied at school for his law degree. Duffy's Baby was conceived in Huff's favorite sex addict's exhibitionist corner of the bedroom, where if the window was closed, Huff could moan and curdle with all her mighty might, so ladies upstairs would hear and be bothered. Nuff came whenever Huff called, while Duffy was at work or at school. Duffy the Duffle, half the circumference of rotund, curvaceous Huff. He came around for Huff's large bottom half. He liked her thick legs. Duffy and Huff snorted and inhaled while Duffy fiddled with Huff's sticky buns. One night, well after midnight, Huff couldn't breathe. Panicked, she ran outside gasping, a pain in the heart, skewered. Huff ran back and forth below the bedroom window. A neighbor woman spoke in motherly tones. "Are you okay, Huff?" Huff gasped. No air. Down the 2 shallow steps she ran, pad, 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 pad. Surrogate mommy for the wee hours said, "Call an ambulance." But no one called for help. Duffy, caring more for his stash than Huff's burning lungs and near exploding tiny heart, did not run after her. He scurried to the bathroom, fiddled with baggies, his sticky stained trunks, and his pockets, but he never went outside. After that night blew over, it did not occur to Huff, with the sensitivities of a drum underwater, that Duffy would only save himself and throw a baby out with the bathwater. Huff, on the other hand, though she ran out hoping for air, did not do so because she cared for her tiny heart. Trouble at the apartments. Duffy soon disappeared again. Stuff to do, he said. So, Nuff came, patted Huff's bouncies like Daddy did, and hoped for ass on the side. "Yuh," Nuff answered to everything Huff said or asked. That was months ago, before the duffel came back. Huff emptied his stash from 5 to 5, spied on the lady with the spy box, and fed her curves with donuts. At night, she coddled Duffy so he would not be angry for using that which kept him pumping at school, pumping at the apartment and the exhibitionist's corner, pumping so much he couldn't put his arms down. But the duffel knew, and so he and Huff argued. Duffy toyed with her until she would cry, "But I want to live with you." Then Duff would distract her, tooling for a blowjob. Round and round the dial until Duff had enough, bigger fish to fry. Oh, that was months ago. Or was it more than a year? The Duff attained a law degree, barely passing the bar with a pink cocaine brain, but at least he knew better because he did not love Huff, just like Daddy didn't. Love me tender, love me long. When a man loves a woman, turn his back on his best friend if he put her down. If she is bad, he can't see it. He's the last one to know. "Yuh," Nuff uttered, needing something other than water to fill his empty drum. Ho-hum. Pink cocaine would fill it. Huff's hollow, high voice might fill it. Incessant ejaculations, up and down like jazz, rapids, sounding like a tween vying for Daddy's attention from the back seat of his hot black sedan. A whining vacuum cleaner when she was pissed. Nuff could keep her bouncy, keep her from getting pissed, keep her vying for a seat and for his empty drum ejaculations. Every day, every night, in between spy boxing, syllables strung together like faux pearls in a biggie double-wall plastic mug, two-toned pink and green, convenience store iridescent, a tattle, a toy, a distraction. Huff could not keep a secret. Guess what, Nuff? Nuff had been listless and hadn't acknowledged her since breakfast. A fine but odd, muted June day. Huff felt uneasy since her eyes opened after a few hours of night terrors. A familiar anxiety pressed her chest. Nuff picked up a catalog soon after sausages and eggs. Orange juice rings left at the bottom of their glasses had congealed, empty glasses on the narrow sill where Nuff sat in the exhibitionist's chair. The afternoon showed itself in full bloom. Bright, crisp greens, pink and white cherry blossom petals confettied the walks from fluffy treetops. Birds pulled worms from the lawns. A just-washed window sort of day, but their windows are dust-dotted. Heavy rains do not suffice to clear them. Pernicious black mold creeps between tacky sill paint and the pane. An atmosphere, odd, muted, double-fold as noon approaches. Huff tries her mightiest might not to remember a time of awareness Daddy had other bouncies to play with, which made him speechless too. Neither past nor present did she understand. Daddy met someone in a darkened car, but who? Nuff in the bathroom, but he will not let her in. Ladies singing upstairs, but why? Pressing anxiety, her bouncies heavy and cumbersome. Huff's Daddy's highball glass, iceless, empty in his hand. He had gazed out the window right over little Huffy's head, watching something or someone she could not see. Nuff, guess. Yuh, he said, distracted, gazing otherwise button-lipped at Huff's rounded, plump features, taut as birthday animal balloons, two tight twists shaped like a Mickey, which looked more like pink ovum or big empty ears and an unformed face. I'm pregnant, Huff announced. Nuff had heard it before. It must be the beard, he thought. Had it been a year, Huff pouted, cried the best crocodile tears which once belonged to Daddy, but had not procured the duffel. Both saw Huff as a piece of ass, snorts and giggles in the exhibitionist's corner. Spy boxes like rats in Nuff's mother's old cellar down in Virginia. What should Nuff do? Marry Huff? Is that the thing to do? Will there be enough pink cocaine, he hoped. Huff's eyes big as ashtrays, cold as icy highballs. Will there always be an exhibitionist's corner or fiberglass bathtub sex beside thin walls or beneath linoleum floors? Could he keep Huff's tricks overheard? Could Nuff keep Huff happy? Because when Huff ain't cruel, she ain't happy, and Nuff be miserable. He knows he does not have the bulge Duffy has, obvious scrotum that hangs in a bend over. Duffy dumped Huff, But Nuff is almost sure the Duffel's shadow had lengthened his otherwise stocky build across their slab of a doorstep at some point during the last year. He thought he could smell the testosterone. All Nuff has is his neat postiche. He trims it every day, defines his puffering jaw. Women are supposed to go gooey over it, and it's easy to clean. Will there always be another quiet lady upstairs to harass? Because the one who made it out like a queen, while Huff and Nuff are stuck with the spy box, went somewhere so much better. Will there be another Duffy or another yes man like himself? How long, Nuff wondered, can he pretend Huff is something other than a cruel laugh? How long? He rolls this next question round and round the empty drum like submerged, separating sands. Will the baby look like those Cupid-copied baby faces he'd seen pasted on tiny jars before it forms a face that is Duffy's? How long? Duff's eyes as big as strawberry milkshake lids, before Nuff demands a paternity test. How many pouty no's will Nuff swallow before they overfill the underwater drum and bubble to the surface, a drowned man's last words? How many bouncies? How many ladies to be jealous of but pretend it's just for fun and a fix? How much coke? How long before the beard which precedes him like a truck idling in the lot becomes too cumbersome to clean? A toddler running amok, another Huff. They wanting more and more yas, less and less of the beard which once preceded him. He is the last to know.